MDs. Today we had a 2017 Mini Cooper non-S, and it has an oil leak, and it's coming from this guy right here. So that is a very common leaking point on these 3rd gen Mini Coopers, and it's on this side of the car, which is the right front. So we're gonna start taking some of this stuff apart, the wheel, some of the fender liner stuff, and also some of this paneling over here so we can gain access. This is a front timing cover, the lower cover here, and they make it out of plastic, of course, and over time it just warps and starts leaking. The seal is built into the cover, as you can see right there, and we're going to replace it, and I'm going to show you how. And this thing is like the lightest tire ever. Wow. So you're gonna need an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, as well as 10mm nuts in there, and also a rivet popper, like a plastic rivet popper tool. All right, now that we have the fender liner out, there's a cover on front of the engine here, like a sound deadening type of cover. We need to remove this. So you need a rivet popper again, remove all these rivets and pull this thing out of the way. There's one down in this corner, back down in here. All right, that top one way up there is kind of hard to get to, but you can pull it out. Actually, there's one more up there, so there's 2 up top, dang. There it goes. We have access. And right there is the cover right here. So what we're gonna do now is work on getting the drive belt loose and remove the front harmonic balancer right here. So this takes an E12, an E-Torx here. And I like to loosen them, crack them loose before I remove the belt so it holds tension on this. Maybe. Let's throw something in front of the belt so it doesn't move. This is a rubber hockey puck, basically. There we go. These are pretty tight, actually. One. Wow. All right, next we're gonna work on the tensioner up in there, and we're gonna get a 19mm socket on there with a long ratchet to get in here. And I have a pin. This takes a little pin that you can put in there. If you don't have it, it's not a big deal, but it is nice because it holds it in the tensional position there. Of course, you can make one. There it is. There we are, it's nice and loose. So now we can work on removing this big old pulley here. Now we can really see the front cover here. You can see where it's leaking in that corner right in there. Lighting's not the best. I got 2 lights on here, which is still kind of a dark spot. And we're just gonna basically start removing these E-Torques all the way around and pull this thing off. And these are gonna be E10, so an E-Torques 10 bit here, socket. The one on that back corner, you will need a swivel to get to that one. For these lower bolts, I like to use an 8mm ratcheting wrench. It fits right on there perfectly. Gives you the room you need to get it out. There we go. All right, got it out there. Hello. That looks fun in there. And because this is a 3-cylinder, it's kind of out of balance, so they have a counter shaft with a counterweight on it to counter out, to help balance out the engine a little better. That's what that is. Before going back together, we want to clean the surface really well, especially in this corner down in here, because that's actually where it's leaking. So you're going to clean it really well, do some brake clean, something that doesn't leave a residue behind. And we're going to use a Hylamar in the corner, and I'll show you that later. You can also use a silicone if you don't have Hylamar brand, but we're going to clean this up real nice. All right, a special tool is required for the front seal, and this is the tool here. You can use it on BMW engines as well. The tool looks like this. The reason why the tool is needed isn't only to prevent damage on the seal, but this isn't your conventional seal. You see this, there's no spring or anything, and this is actually a rigid, almost like a plasticky type of seal. It's really hard here. And another thing is this seal, the lip has to go face inward, right? Well, you're pushing in on this, so it's gonna wanna force the seal in the opposite direction, so it's gonna damage the seal. This outer section right here is just a dust shield. This part doesn't matter. The main thing is this seal down in here. And this is how it works. It goes in just like this. Force it through. Like that. This comes off. You don't need this anymore. See the lip here? You can see the lip. And this part will rest right on the front of the crankshaft nose here. Once you start putting it on there and fishing it on, it'll start pushing against this thing here, and you can eventually pull it off, and it'll transfer the seal lip over onto the crankshaft. This is the sealant I like to use. It's called Hylamar brand, the blue universal. The stuff works great. It never dries completely. It always stays a little tacky. Works really great on oil gaskets. There it is. I can feel it mated right on the nose of this thing, so I'm gonna push against here, this here, and then this is kind of floating, so I'm gonna transfer it over. Hopefully it works here. There it is. There. Now I can start working on tightening some of these bolts down, snugging them at least, lining everything up, and then go back around and snug them again. All right, I have all the bolts tightened up on here, and it's a good idea, I forgot to mention, is when you get them all in, lined up, just finger tight, just slightly snug them so the mating surface mates down, and then back them off a little bit, and then you tighten these ones up, because this seal right here, you want it, this is the main seal that's gonna kind of hold the oil in, is this one right here. So if you tighten these ones first and then these ones later, there's gonna be a little gap in here. So you wanna draw this down first. So once this is drawn down with these ones snug, then you can go back and snug the other ones, if that makes sense. All right, going on with the belt here. Now it's time to test drive it, and I'll pull it back in after and recheck, make sure nothing's leaking. Guys, thanks for joining me on this video. I appreciate it. You'd make my day if you could like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Happy motoring to you.